I'm about to be making videos in like segments. I have been in my freaking truck for 2 hours. This was the most retarded, stupid ass waste of fucking time that I just put myself through. I'm confused. I am so on edge right now. And so much anxiety. I can barely breathe. I'm trying to calm myself down. I have my purifier to help calm it down. I had to take off my freaking bra. Oh, you guys are going to hear this fucking stupid story. But I cannot even talk about it right now. It's storming. Okay, you guys, I'm going to meet a guy from the Facebook dating. I've met maybe 3 people so far, and nothing really went past a first meeting because, I mean, they were cool. You know what I mean? People are cool, but they're far away sometimes. This guy lives in Pennsylvania, 2 hours away, and he seems kind of hillbilly, and he's got barn cats. So when we video chatted, he was showing me all his kitties, and that's really good because obviously I'm a cat lover, so dude must like cats. I'm not really looking for forever. I'm just looking to get out there and enjoy my life, so let's hope everything goes nice. We're gonna go to the park, so I'm not trying to be like super glam, right? So you guys are gonna be on my little journey with me. Pretty much just going with this natural look. I used, I think I'm pretty much using this every day. This is the Heat Wave glitter. So I used that. And I'm not gonna go full on glam right off the rip because, you know, we've only really seen each other through Snapchat filters, so. Anyway, I just wanted to gab with you a little bit about that. So I'm just thinking like a very neutral lip. Queen Bee. But I want it to be a little darker to show that I do have a, like, you know, my natural type is more darker. So what can I put under this? Okay, so I think he's 22 and he has hair just like my twin flame, but he's white, I think. I'm pretty sure he's just white. You know what? Let's do deep burgundy with 2 layers of this. So we're gonna go meet. He's driving an hour and a half. I'm driving 20 minutes to a place he suggested that I've never been, Brandywine Falls, so it's not far. I've heard of it before. And we're gonna go meet up in nature. He knows about my trauma healing and stuff and knows that I'm just kind of like chill. He's actually been, he's been pretty nice. You know, we don't talk a lot. Text, I should say. But yeah, excited to meet. So maybe sugar cookie. All right, let's do it, y'all. Never before done mix for a first meeting. All right, I'm gonna get this really even. It would be cool if I like him enough to kiss him, and if he's on to kiss me, you know, like I'm not gonna jump on no dude, but I mean that's the idea, right? Find somebody to do the dirty with, right? That's what I'm looking for. If not, cool. A nice day in nature, you know? No, no like judgments, anything. Know what I'm saying? I think I like this. A third layer is gonna set it off. Yeah. All right. Single and dating, so I think he's nice. We'll see. We've been talking, like a little talking back and forth, maybe 3 weeks, and his car needed to get repaired, and it's repaired now. So yeah, and you know what? This tastes good. So if he kisses me, he's gonna think I am so yummy. Yeah. Oh, you know what? The last time and the only time I ever had a beautiful first kiss in a park in nature was my first meet up with my twin flame. And this dude literally, oh my God, looks like my twin flame. In the hair anyway. I might get a picture if you guys wanna dish with me. Okay. I like it. So this is just a simple, natural, pretty much, we're gonna go into the woods. I'm thinking my ass is looking good. He's gonna be checking me out like, ooh, damn, this girl got a booty. I wanna get up in it. And I'm just gonna wear my Air Force Ones. So yeah. I'm bringing a little jacket, like a see-through pink, and I'm gonna wear my little pink backpack. So leaving the designer bags here in my closet, and I'm gonna just wear a backpack. That way my hands are free. So see y'all later. I'll let you know. Story time. Gather round, friends. Get you a cup of tea because I got the tea. I got my own tea today in my Taurus mug because you know I'm a Taurus. And I have calmed down enough. So the way I made these videos is I'm just going to talk about it now. I could not even talk like during and after this whole freaking situation. But I'm just going to start from the beginning, you guys. This is the single life and dating. Here's what went down. All right. So I've been on the Facebook dating, all right, and even though I've set my preferences to, like, by the way, I'm wearing a cat suit. It is So fly. Literally, it's like giving Kim K hardcore. So, okay. Anyways, I'm on the Facebook dating, right? Like, obviously, I'm very not trying to be single. Like, okay. So, I'm on the Facebook dating. I have preferences that I only want these guys 10 miles away. And it's like Facebook doesn't even care because I'm meeting people from Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm in Ohio, by the way. Um, I'm meeting people that are literally live in Pennsylvania, which is the next state over. I mean, it's only a couple hours, whatever. You can cross the border and all that, but also people from like super fucking far away in Ohio too. So, I have actually not met anyone. And now when I say meet, I mean online, okay? I've matched with several people because I'm like, you don't know basically really where they're from because I mean it can say a town or whatever, but like it'll tell you, oh, whatever. I think they got it all wrong on the GPS, so I don't know. If anybody else is on the Facebook dating, let me know if they do that shit to you too, if there's a way to like I've checked and I have my settings set, but like I've been living in this general area for years now. I mean, I think if there was a hot guy, I might have ran into him by now. So I get it, whatever. Get out of my comfort zone, I don't, it's whatever. So I matched with this one guy. He seems pretty cute. Um, and we just, he took me over to Snapchat because I really don't even check, not that I check Snapchat that much either, but we have been like, like kind of talking, not really like talking, but just like, hey, how are you? Whatever. We've been trying to make plans because we did want to meet each other, and so it's always been like some kind of an issue. And he's coming from farther away, and he had a couple issues with his vehicle, so we would talk sporadically back and forth about, oh, is this weekend coming up good? Or, oh, my car's getting fixed. Okay, cool. We have not gotten into any very deep conversations because I don't want to do that through texting. I want to meet someone in person and I kind of want to feel them out. We've had one video chat, which went very good. He has kitties. He's got barn kitties, so he showed me his cats. I mean, he seems like a cute enough guy. Like, I'm just I'm looking for someone to keep me warm here. And he seems sweet enough. He's never been like weird or rude, and I've been able to tell right off. Some guys are just like fucking psycho. Like, yo, I got a lot going on here, and if you're not exclusively like already up in my guts, like I'm not going to be texting you all the time. Like, I'm just not going to be wasting my time like that. So you can see, like, some guys, they get like real weird, like if you don't message them back or something. He's never been like that. I've been like, oh, I've been overwhelmed with, oh, he's like, I totally understand, you're fine. He's always been kind. So yeah, I got no issues meeting up with a new person. So I'm looking forward to meeting this dude, right? So here's the shit. We've Googled And he's officially a 2-hour drive from me. So, and of course, I don't just invite people to my house. So, like, I have to get to know someone to see if I want them to come to my house. You know what I'm saying? Because most people are just like, oh, I'll come over right now. Like, let's have a sleepover. And I'm all like, I don't know if I want you like that yet. Like, I need to see you first before you just come on over to my private personal sanctuary, you know? Like, anyway, so I'm like, I gotta meet people in public a couple times, or, preferably then I go to their place and see what they got going on before I think I want to bring them back here. But I know in this situation that's not going to be possible, because I'm not driving no 2 damn hours. If we actually started having something and like maybe, I don't know. Anyways, we had it set up to where we were going to meet. He actually is a nature lover, just like I am. We were going to meet for a time in the park. And so he doesn't have any clue, like, around this area. And I mean, I kind of do, but not really. There's a lot of places I just have never gone. We were going to meet up at the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. I think that's the name. Which I come to find out is actually a very large piece of land, and there's like 3 different cities that you could just go to. So we're like kind of Googling, because like I want, he's going to be doing like the more of the driving. I said I'm okay. I'm comfortable with getting a little bit out of my comfort zone to meet, but like I said, within 20 minutes or half an hour, I'm okay with, I'll make a little effort to meet a new guy, but I'm not going to be doing the most here, right? So he's totally fine with that. And he also had told me that, if we did start something, he's got no problem driving out to me, staying a couple days, or even driving back. Like, he's okay with doing that, because I told him, like, I'm not real comfortable on the road all like that. Like, I'm looking for someone who can kind of just come be with me. So he's cool with it. So we were going to meet up at this one place, which I've driven past, and I kind of know, like, enough about it to where I'd feel okay, where I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know where we are. Then he suggests this other place, okay? So he suggests this place. I'm not gonna say the name, because I don't want any weirdos knowing where I live or whatever. But anyway, it's supposedly another one of these like national sites in between, well, Ohio and then going towards Pennsylvania, whatever. He's like, here, look, this looks beautiful. Something falls, I will tell you. And so he sends me the Google. I see, oh, it's only 20 minutes away from me. That's even better. Like, okay. It looked really nice. I'm thinking I've never driven out this way before, but it's just more exits down from, like, I've gone in the vicinity, but I'm like, okay, sure, that sounds nice. Like, can't wait. So we time it out, and I'm like, we Google everything to see, like, what time we would both need to leave in order for us to meet there at the same time-ish, So he tells me he doesn't have Wi-Fi on his phone, so basically, like, he's got to wait till he kind of gets in the area and even gets to a gas station or something to let me know, like, that he's close. And I'm like, okay, I will head there anyways if I don't, if I don't hear, because I don't know if there's Wi-Fi or what anything's going, but so I'm driving, I'm feeling okay. And let me tell you this, before I even think about should I meet up with a guy or, is this dude any good, whatever, I do readings. Like, you guys know that I'm like intuitive, I do tarot readings, all that shit. Like, pendulum clearly said, yes, go. Um, and then I pulled a oracle card and I asked, how is everything going to be going today with meeting, so and so. And it gave me the oracle card. The wisdom is inside of your body. Feel into your body. And I'm like, okay, all right, it's telling me to get into my intuition, so I feel in. I'm like, okay, is this going to be a good time? I'm feeling good about it. I was thinking that we're just going to have a lovely day at this beautiful location, walk around the park, the woods, I'm looking forward to it. And um so I get to driving, right? I'm thinking, okay, here I am. I'm on the road. Like, I'm doing this. And so everything seems okay. And then, once you start going a little bit farther, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely somewhere I've never been before, and I'm like, driving along. And I see that it's like, it'll start telling me, oh, 5 minutes away, 2 minutes away. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm getting close, but I don't see signs for exits. This is country, yo. Like, for real. And it's beautiful scenery, but I'm like, where the fuck am I? And I've never gotten off the main highway, so I'm just like, okay, I'm going, chugging along. I look down at my GPS and I see, oh, point 0.1 mile, you're here basically. And it's like, what? So I'm on the expressway just going, and there's no way off. And the fucking like falls is right there. And I'm like, how do I get to it? I mean, this is dangerous too. It actually, like, the bridge was like, the expressway is basically turned into a bridge. It's kind of high up. I'm looking over. I don't want to get my eyes off the road. I'm seeing a bunch of woods. I'm like, so this whole area over here is considered, the place, but it's not like a place to go. And I'm like, get out of here. So I got no choice. I'm on the road. I have to keep driving. So eventually I see a sign like the next exit is blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm just getting the fuck off. Like, I'm getting off, because regardless, I'm not going to keep going farther. I'm seeing signs for Pennsylvania. I'm like, all right, I'm far here. So what should have been, now the actual place, yeah, it did only take me about 20 minutes to get there. But there's no fucking way to get off on the exit. So none of this makes sense. Like, GPS, what the fuck? And there was actually two separate headings when I typed the place in. I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's actually an entrance to this place. And I typed in the wrong thing. So I'm like, when I get off, I'm like Googling, and it's like an extra half an hour the other fucking way. And so I'm like, what do I do? Meanwhile, it starts like pouring rain. So I'm somewhere, I don't know where the hell I am. I don't know where this dude is. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't want to just stop. So I was driving, just whatever. I drove through like this little town, and I'm like, I just kept going because there was like a 1 lane road until eventually I seen like a little pull off. So I just pulled off at the pull off. And I messaged him and I'm like, hey, like, can you call me back? I messaged him, and like for a while, like he didn't see it because I'm like, oh, he's got no fucking Wi-Fi. So I'm thinking he's getting led to this place that there's not even a place, and now he's gonna have to drive around and try to find some civilization or like a gas station or something. And I tell you, I was driving down like a one-lane road, not a one-lane road, but a skinny road, like where there was nothing. Beautiful pasture, and every once in a while a house or a sign that says hidden drive, or, and I'm just driving, like, so I'm like, I don't know what else to do, you know, I can't just stop on this road. So like when I finally found a pull off, I pulled the fuck off. So I'm just sitting in my vehicle. It's raining. I turned my vehicle off because I'm not trying to waste any more gas. And I'm like sitting there messaging him. I'm feeling frantic, you know, my heart's pounding. I'm sitting there. Finally, he answers, like maybe 5 minutes later. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know where I am really either. Let me send you my Google location. And I'm like, really? And it turns out like we were still, like 35 minutes away from each other because he couldn't go to the location, so he had to find somewhere else. He said he's sitting at a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere. And I'm like, he's like, where are you? I'll drive towards you. And I'm like, I don't know where I am, and I don't know how to do that fucking location shit on Snap either. So I'm like, I don't know where I am. Let me try driving and see if I can. I said, let me turn around and see if I can, like, tell you the name of anything. I said, just see if you can, like, come towards me or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking off. I can't look at my phone when I'm driving because it's storming and I don't know where I am. So I drive a little bit farther. I'm like, okay, found another, like, little park area with the name of it or whatever. I'm like, so I message him and I'm like, where are you? He's like, I've been sitting here because I need to be able to wait for you to tell me where you are. And I'm like, oh my God. So I told him to Google like the name of the park that I saw down the street. I'm like, I remember I saw this. I'm like, tell me how far that is from you. He's like, that's about a half an hour away from me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here. Like, I'm not gonna sit here sitting in my vehicle in the pouring rain, like waiting for you to get here. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm like, I need to either drive somewhere, but if I drive somewhere, I'm driving back towards where I live. Like, I'm not driving more far somewhere I don't know. I was like, I gotta at least get to a place where I know I'm headed towards where I live. So I just turn around and drive down this long ass street. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to. I was like, maybe you can just drive towards me, like, and somehow we can like intersect in the middle because I saw that little town over there. And I was so frustrated and my heart was pounding that I just, I put the phone down. I'm like, regardless of him, I need to get myself somewhere that I am feeling more comfortable. So I'm driving, this little road, this little one-way street here. And I pass the little town again, which looked like a cute little town. So I'm thinking to myself in the back of my head, if I ever come out this way again, I might purposely come to this town. But I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. And it was just a little cluster before there's just nothing again. So I seen a gas station and a sign to get on the expressway. So I turned around. You guys know me. I hate fucking gas stations. I do not want to smell gasoline. Like, it was my only option. I pulled in. So I messaged him back and I'm like, okay, I'm at a BP gas station. I sent him a video of where I was. There's the expressway. I'm like, I'm near an expressway. I'm here at this BP. And he's like, okay. I'm like, where are you now? He's like, I've been sitting here at the same place. And I'm like, why? Like, I told you to like at least meet me somehow halfway. He's like, I didn't want to not be able to have Wi-Fi and meet you, or I didn't know, you never told me where to meet you. I said, I know, like, can you suggest me to do something? Because I'm feeling really frantic right now. So, like, we had a phone call, and I'm like, my nervous system is frantic. I had just been doing trauma healing, and he knew this too. Like, he knew I'd been going through, like, a lot of stuff, and I didn't, like, tell him all kinds of stuff, but I told him I was in trauma therapy for it. And, like 3 days prior to us meeting, I just said, I was like, I feel like so alone. I'm so sad. I just need someone to like love me. And he's like, I wish I could just come cuddle you, you know? It's like, he seems compassionate to me. He's not losing his temper. He's just like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you what to do because I don't know anywhere around here to go. And I'm like, well, I don't either. I'm like, I have to head back towards where I live. I'm sorry. Like, I can't be on this goose chase, because at this point he was still a half hour away from me. Even when I got to that BP, like, he's somewhere. And I'm just like, I'm nowhere near where I thought we were going to be. So he was like, well, do you want to just meet at the BP where we are? I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit at a gas station. Like, I don't even want to be at a gas station. And it's raining. And I'm like, I don't want to sit here, you know. And I'm like, I have to just get on the road. I got to head towards where I live. I'm like, I'm going to head here. I said, I'm getting on Route 8 South or North, whatever one. I don't know. I'm getting on this. I showed him a picture of it. I said, I'm getting on this. I'm going to head this way. I'm like, if you want to head this way, I will message you in about 10 or 15 minutes when I can get off at an exit where I at least know that I'm not too far from where I live. And that seems familiar to me. So that's what I told him. I was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not sitting here anymore. I have to keep going. And so I did. I put the Google map towards my house, and I just got on the expressway. And so I started driving on it, you know. After about 10 minutes, I started seeing some stuff that I had seen before. So I'm like, okay, I'm all right, heading the right way. So then I seen like a familiar okay, I've been around here before. I got off. I pulled into like a random parking lot type space, and I said, I got back on the phone to see if I was like, hey, you know, he messaged me back right away. I'm like, well, where are you? He's like, I'm just still here at the same Dunkin' Donuts, just sitting. I'm like, why? I said, I was like, at least, he's like, do you want to still meet up? He's like, where can I meet you? And I'm like, what do you mean, where can you meet me? Like, I'm here pulled off in a random parking lot now. I'm like, if you would have been driving towards me, like, yeah, maybe I would have waited for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I'm not waiting 40 minutes for you to show up. I'm like, at this point, I'm hungry, and I had already been driving for 2 hours. I got in my vehicle at about 4:30 to head to meet him, because we're going to be, or maybe it was like 5:30 anyway. I'd been in my truck for almost 2 hours now, and I'm just like annoyed as fuck. At any point, this dude could have just said, hey, go to the little town, pull in, go to a restaurant, wherever, tell me where you are, and I'll meet you there. Like, he could have told me something to do. Like, I'm too frantic to be making these judgment calls. I don't want to do that. I want to be in my feminine energy. I need him to take the reins here. But, like, yeah, it was way out of his comfort zone, so I don't know. He had no suggestion. And so at that point, I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't even say I'm sorry, you know, because I'm like, this is some bullshit. I was like, so frantic, I could barely breathe. Like, heart was pounding, you know, and I'm sitting here, like, the whole time I was driving back, I'm sitting here like, okay, universe, I'm like, I'm feeling into my body. I'm feeling the anxiety. I'm feeling the heart pounding. And it was not necessarily from that exact time, because I knew in essence I was gonna be fine. I really didn't go that far from where I know where I am. And I have a GPS, I have a half a tank of gas, I have a reliable vehicle. So it wasn't necessarily that this incident was the thing bringing up the trauma, but like I said, I had just gone through that trauma therapy 3 days ago, which uproots old shit so you can get it out. And if anybody's been watching my channel, you see me like 2 videos down, I was sharing like what I was feeling, the immense pain of the love unreceived, you know. So they uprooted a lot of shit during that therapy, and I feel like what it was that was coming up was being heavily triggered. And so I was kind of trying to think back of the first time I ever felt like that, and it must have been years ago, before GPS was even a thing, you know. And so I just did some healing on myself while I was driving, and I just, you know, I kept my boundaries there. There was just no way in fucking hell I was going to sit around, sitting in my truck, getting overheated while it rained, not being invited to go into a restaurant or anything else or somewhere dry. Like, none of that. Just no leadership, not telling me anything to do. And I'm just like, I can't right now. Like, he's like, so we're not gonna meet then? I'm like, well, how? Like, you know, like, I'm disappointed, but at this point, I have to put that disappointment aside and just get myself the fuck back to my house. So, and I knew I still had at least 15 minutes of a drive. And I'm thinking to myself, where can I stop? Where can I stop that's halfway to just sit and breathe before I have to, like, so I literally, like, on my way home, I went and stopped somewhere, and I'm like, I'm listening to my healing guidance, like clearing aura meditations, clearing anxiety. You know, I'm like, I'm transmuting all this trauma. Everything that came up, I was feeling it, which is crazy that I got that card and that they told me to go, because, and I had my pendulum with me in the car. I'm like, at this point, should I meet? Because I was like, oh, should I meet this guy? And it said yes, it said yes. And then once it started raining and I was going, like, we, you know, when he was not making a decision to tell me go back to the town or I'll meet you or any of this, I was like, should I even try to, you know, meet somehow with him? And it said no. And I'm like, okay. So, you know, and I asked, did my higher self know this was going to be going down like this? Like, it said yes. So I'm thinking I was literally led through this bullshit goose chase simply because it did bring up all that uncomfortable, horrible trauma, and it gave me the chance to transmute it and release it, because that was a lot of stuck energy. A lot, you know, it was very dense, and I was able to identify it. I was able to, you know, I had my spirit optimizer with me. I had my, like, you know, all my tools for healing, and I'm like, hey, what can I do right now, right here in the car? I'm just getting rid of it all. So now, 2 days later, I'm feeling okay. I can talk about it a little more. I'm still kind of just, I'm still energetically purging, and that really, I guess, helped me purge, but so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. It was like So at the time, at the point when he was still fucking sitting there, after I had already made it halfway back to closer to home, I just said, look, I'm gonna head back. My nervous system is shot for the day. Like, I just cannot cope right now. Um, this really sucks, but I guess you ought to just head back. So he's like, all right, this really sucks. I'm like, I know. And then I was like, well, let me know when you get back. So I ended up getting back after I made the stop and, cleared some of my aura and everything. I even got under a tree at one point. I got out of my truck and just went under a fucking pine tree, even though it was raining. I stayed dry under the tree, but I ran to it and I just put my back against the tree and I was like, I'm transmuting all of this heavy energy of fear, of overwhelm, of anxiety, of fear of being on the road. I'm just transmuting it all out of my body now, like just getting the job done. And I made it home. It was wet. I sat in my driveway for like 10 minutes because it was pouring so fucking hard. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna run in. I ran, it got all wet, changed my clothes, made hot tea, went and sat in my bed and relaxed. And I'm just like, oh my God. So that was that. And then I'm sitting there, TikToking, online shopping. Then I finally see him pop up like almost 2 hours later. I finally made it. I'm like, oh my God. So I never got to meet up with him yet, or I don't know if I will. Like, who fucking knows? Like, I'm open to dating, but like, this is some shit that goes down, right? And I feel like I know what I truly want is twin flame union, but yet I'm not going to sit here and put my life on hold. I think I need to get out there, but it's like, this is the kind of shit that happens. Now, I don't want to affirm that either. Maybe it was just whatever, like, but come on. So we messaged back and forth a little bit since then, not much. Like, he complimented me on my pictures that I put on my story, and I told him, we both agreed that it was really stupid and really shitty that our paths did not cross like we planned, but we both agreed that we do want to meet if it can work out. We'll keep trying, and next time have a more like place to meet that, like, I know for sure. I know where there's another larger park because I've driven past it. Like, it's going to have to be something like that I know is a real location. Crazy thing is, I talked to my son and his girlfriend yesterday about where I was going to go meet, and they said they tried to go there once too, and there isn't an exit, and they got kind of lost too, and it's like misleading on the GPS. And I'm like, yeah, it's some bullshit. So I don't know. I know a lot of places maybe do that shit on purpose. They don't want other people going there. I don't know if it's like a protected land. I mean, it looked like either that or just the GPS is dumb as fuck, because I know I've heard of this place before. And I almost thought it was like, I thought there was hills there and people like sled or something, but I don't know. Anyway, that's the story. So yeah. So that didn't work out. I spent the rest of the weekend by myself. I did go to a boudoir party, which was fucking cool, and that was fun. But after that, I came back and I was just in my bed alone. So I don't know. Like, I guess more dating to come, dating stories to come, because, like, what am I gonna do? Just sit in my house and not try? Like, this has been getting me nowhere. But yeah. So, anyways, that's what happened, and that's what didn't happen, and it sucks. So, yeah. All right, well, thanks for listening to my story. If you have any similar kind of stories where you were trying to meet someone from far away and paths didn't cross, and shit was crazy, let me know. I really like listening to everybody else's stories because it makes me realize that, like, it's not just me. It's like it's kind of hard to be single and dating, and like sometimes dating can be fun. um I've only got to meet 2 guys off of the Facebook dating. The other one lived an hour away. um and we met up one time and then never talked again, and it was like, okay, whatever. Like, people are cool, but just because I mean, it's like if the dude lived closer to me, I'd probably be seeing him, but it's just, who can deal with people so far away? Especially half these dudes don't have cars either, so it's been crazy. And then the other one, I'm just going to talk about people in a separate video because I mean, there's really nothing to say about it. It was like, oh, okay, you're nice, you're okay, but not really nothing I need to get myself into, I guess. But yeah, so that's been that. Thanks for watching.